done all I can. Would you say that I've been a better man? Would you tell me, would you tell me it was part of your plan? Would you leave me here covered in sin? Would you call me on the phone just to let it ring? Even if I pick it up, would it not mean a thing when I think I'm not around? It makes me wanna scream. There's no one else here to save, so won't you set me free? Will you save me? Will you leave me here to die? Will you wake me up on the outside of this night? If I wake up in the morning, would I still be okay? With all the things that I left broken, would they get in the way? If you call me and I answer, would it be my mistake? Only time will tell me. What would you say? Will you save me? Will you leave me here to die? Will you wake me up on the outside of this night? Boy, that's my intention, leaving me here wanting more. Will you keep me long enough to let me just go away and all the things that I left broken? Will you save me? Will you leave me here to die? Will you wake me up on the outside of this night? Will you save me? Will you leave me here to cry? Will you wake me up on the outside of this night? You know I'll never leave. You know I won't deceive. Pick your head up off your shoulders and smile until tears. Smile till you leave. Will you cut me when I'm dirty? Will you bathe me in the truth? Speak your name out loud and claim the reasons why you captured me. Do you believe? It's alright if I'm okay. Finding reasons, stole my eyes, touch my face. Hear me breathing. Can this fire take away the things that I should say? In this doubt, I find our way. It's breathing. We find our way. We'll talk about this later. Cannot believe it's through. And there in the moonlight, give me time. My memory can Irish guy rocking out with a golf shirt on. Irish guy with a golf shirt on, rocking out, fixing his hair now that he sees it's all wonky. That's okay by me. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Drinks with Dempsey. I am your host, Carson Daly, and it's a pleasure to be here. It's good to see everybody. I see that we've got kind of a drop off today. Wonder where everybody's going. Montgomery Kimber's here with a glass of white wine. All right. James is here to watch a train wreck. Heather's here. Thanks for the hashtags. Heather and Allison and Chance, Coffee Nation, 2 days early. You're always early. I like it. Unreleased Creed. I hate you so much for so many reasons. And I don't know why I take this abuse from you, James. I have no idea why. I also have no idea why we have such a low turnout today. I'm glad you guys are here, but good grief. Normally it's like double this. So there must be something going on, or I finally irritated enough people that they gave up. Oh my goodness. Oh, there's Paul over on YouTube. All right. I see you. Thanks, man. I hope you have a great weekend too. How's the house sale the house sale going? It is well. So you've got a lot of questions there, and by a lot I mean two. The house sale, we had a showing yesterday, and they seem pretty interested. So I'm just waiting now at this point to get the offer and then get the thing under contract before we go on vacation next Friday. So we'll be down in Orange Beach next Friday, and I don't know. I'm going to play it by ear as far as the show's concerned, all right? So we'll see what happens. But, yeah, I mean, just, if I get there in time, then we'll do a show. If not, I'll definitely do Coffee Nation on Sunday morning. So, and, yeah, so we'll see how this goes with the buyers. I have a feeling they're actually going to make an offer, so all good. How is the storefront going? So this is another like hiccup for me. So I'm trying to figure out what to do with the storefront because I just got my stock of my first run of books in today that I'm going to release on the storefront. So I can't remember how many I ordered. I'm looking around like they're in the studio here. They're not. They're downstairs in the garage. So I just got a whole 3 boxes of paperbacks for The Courier, 2 Nights in Mumbai, and Country Roads. So my plan is to release those 3. Oh, I hear the garage door opening downstairs. Wife and child must be home. I expect knocking soon on my office door. So the plan is to release those 3 chunks of books on a merch drop here in the coming weeks. Possibly, I would say not in the next 2 weeks, but perhaps July 8th, maybe something around that ballpark. All to sort of celebrate the coming launch of Heavy Lies the Crown. And Heavy Lies the Crown is book 4, obviously, of Relic Runner. It's with my editor, Jason, right now. He said he's wrapping up tomorrow, which I take to mean he's wrapping up like Monday, which is fine by me. I always grace period. He gives me a grace period. I give him a grace period. And that's fluid. So, but I believe in July is probably when that book's going to drop, which means I'm going to do a lot of merch related stuff in the month of July for Heavy Lies the Crown. So but the catch here is we could be moving abroad. So I have no idea what that will do as far as how I ship these kinds of things around the world. It may inhibit that a little bit as far as shipping autographed copies. If we end up moving to Greece, for example, and we've talked about that, moving to Crete, then that changes what shipping looks like. So, hey, buddy. Okay, I'll talk to you in a little bit when I'm done with my show, and I'll start making the ice cream, okay? All right, I'll see you in a minute. And by a minute, I mean 45.
we're doing like an ice cream social with my best friend's family tonight, and it's also, their daughter is her best friend, so I'm making homemade ice cream. Actually, I already made the ingredients yesterday, and then you have to freeze them overnight. And then I have this machine, this amazing machine that goes and it blends it into like gelato or ice cream. You can throw in mix-ins like Oreos. I'm actually going to be doing a Fruity Pebbles ice cream too. So I have 4 or 5 flavors. I have Monster Cookie, which is going to have Oreos in it. It's kind of a bluish tint. I have Matcha. Pretty sure the kids won't like that one. I have the Fruity Pebbles one, which will be in a green ice cream. I have what's the red one? Oh yeah. It's like birthday cake flavored Annie's Bunny graham crackers, right? Birthday cake graham crackers. You throw those in there. And then I think that's pretty much it. I got like 4 flavors. Yeah. So I have an odd number of containers, but only 4 flavors for some reason. So yeah, should be fun. Ordered some pizzas. The pizzas should be arriving in about 1 hour. So it's going to be good. It's going to be a fun time. And it's always cool to have friends over, and they're going to try to tell us not to move. Also, I tried to make this a little darker in here, right? I tried to make the whole thing darker, but these lights are a lot brighter than I intended. I don't know what I did wrong. Whatever. It's fine. Maybe it's this camera with the camo app is just awesome. That could be it. I mean, there's a lot of ways I can change the settings. I'm getting distracted. I hope that answered your question, Paul. Storefront, I believe, will be opening for business in about 3 weeks. Probably, if it's not July 8th, it'll be the following Monday, if that makes sense. So like at the 11th, maybe. Because July 8th is going to be a travel day. So could be that I'm not doing a show, probably not going to send out an email. Maybe, I automate that. I'll do the emails like a day before or something. So I don't know. Hope that answered your question. Oh, yes. The Wolf and Chupacabra clothing. Nice. Oh, I like that Soul Crush. PS5 entity. Eternity. I can't read that, but I see that you're talking about a PS5. I don't know what that word is. Maybe it's a typo. Yeah. Good. I answered that question. Great. Hello, Sam Nosh. Boy, Chance, you're on fire today. Like, I don't even know some of the things you're doing with these comments. It's amazing. Hello, Juliet. Good morning. No hole in one yet. Nope, not for me. I don't have one yet. And I could be leaving the golf course before it happens. There are not a lot of golf courses on Crete that I know of, so the one golf course I checked out on Rhodes was terrible. Like, it was pretty shabby. Like, I'm pretty sure if I did the lands, like if I was the groundskeeper all by myself, I could probably do a better job, just based on what I've learned over the years, and that's not very much. But whatever. What's up, Jonathan Hill? Jason Queen. You delayed your trip to the lake for an hour. That you should, you know what? That is really awesome. I am not sure you're making the right decision. I don't know if this is going to be that. We'll see what happens. We lost 10 viewers as soon as the intro music was done. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but now they're back. I did start at 13,000. Yeah. Yep. It was abrasive, I guess, when I know it's 1 a.m. for you down there, isn't it? Well, hey, you know what? Move to Crete. That's going to change some hours of things. It can be hard to do Coffee Nation I mean, I guess not. I could still do it at like 5 in the afternoon or whatever, but that'll reset a lot of time zones. Yeah, knocking to say move those boxes out of the garage. Oh yeah, dude, I know. You're so right. So right. What's funny is I moved them out of the dining room because I didn't want to be told to move them out of the dining room because I was happy to keep them there and just like do all my shipping stuff from the dining room table. I actually got to get more mailers. I'm basically out of my custom mailers, which stinks because I like to send those out because it makes you feel special when you get those custom mailers, those IAA mailers. But I guess I'll print some new ones. But you're so right. What's up, Candace and Laura? Hello. Yeah. So it was Florida. We were looking at 30A down there for a long time, and we had talked about Greece before and Portugal before, and in Florida. We talked about Montana and Wyoming, but there's just something about it. There's something about Greece that seems to be calling me, right? And I love visiting Europe, and I love being over there, and I like a lot of the cultural things. I like the slower pace of life in some of those places, especially on the islands. And for me, for Megan, it's mostly about the food. I'm going to be honest. She just loves the food over there, and it is pretty spectacular. Food is great wherever you go, but the food there is got a more natural taste and more natural ingredients, I guess, less preservatives. I don't know what it is. That's what she says. But she really loved it. She loved the culture. She loved the architecture. She loved the vibe. And so, yeah, it just feels like I've been really locked in on the Panhandle down there in Florida, and all the doors seem closed to that. I don't know if it's because sea levels are rising. I don't know what it is, right? But there was some sort of block to that, and it seems like there's no block. Like doors keep opening for this whole thing of moving to the island of Crete. And for me, the food is great. The people are cool. The music's cool. The beaches are amazing. The water's great. Climate is ridiculously good. It's cheap, but for me, one of the biggest draws is the history. When I was there on Andros Island and when I was in Athens, I felt like, I could feel, you can feel the history in those places. Like you're walking around on pavement that's atop of dirt that was walked on by history, right? Like by great people from history or ordinary people from history that helped make great people great, right? Who forged empires that I've studied in school and studied for most of my life now and read about and looked at in magazines and all that stuff. And there's just no substitute for, reading about it on a blog or watching a video about it or reading a magazine or a book about it. There's no substitute for actually just being there and just seeing it. I mean, and just feeling it. When I was at the Acropolis 3 years ago for that Florence and the Machine show, I mean, it was a tangibly spiritual experience, and a different kind of spiritual, right? Than like a God sort of thing. It just felt more like all is right, that I am here with all this stuff. I got this ancient Roman marketplace, and the wall was like right next to our table. Like this 2,000-year-old wall is right there. Like bricklayers, stonemasons 2,000 years ago were building that, or however long ago it was, maybe longer than that. And it's just fascinating to me. I loved it. And everywhere you look, when we were on the island of Andros, I'd see all these rock walls everywhere. And I asked some of the locals about them, and they were like, yeah, what about them? And I'm like, well, how old are those things? And they're like, oh, they're as old as Greece. And I'm like, what do you mean they're like 3,000 years old, 2,000? You know, like what? Yeah, they've been there for thousands of years. Like the first settlers, some of the first Greek merchants had important harbors there on Andros Island, right? It's not one of the more visited islands, but it was really windy, but decent fishing villages, but also in antiquity it was merchant heavy. And so they would sail to Turkey from there, and Istanbul and all those places, and it was connected. It would connect, Italy, the Venetians, and all that stuff is a big connecting island right there. So the history of that, is just cool. But you see all these rock walls that they all just take for granted. I mean, people, even in Athens, walking around, they just, oh yeah, there's that thing. And I'm just like, I guess if you live there, you get used to it like that, like working in a motorcycle shop, and you get used to that intoxicating smell of like tires and engines. I love that smell. But you can kind of go nose deaf or, surrounding blind to anything, I guess. So anyway, that's where I am. You asked like one simple question, and then I go off for 10 minutes. Welcome to Drinks with Dempsey, newbies. If you're new here, that's how this show rolls. I just take something and run with it. So, yeah. I did do another thing today, though. I did a little bit of writing this week, and I really got started on Dak Harper 5, right? Because right now I'm about to start Crimson Winter, which is Gideon Wolf 3, but when I'm going to finish Relic Runner 5 first. So I've had a few good days of writing, a lot of planning. I did a lot of outlining and not outlining. I don't really outline traditionally, but a lot of planning for that story. And I'm really excited about how it starts. Like the beginning is really cool. The prologue is cool. And, some of the characters that I bring back are pretty cool. So I think you're going to dig it. And it takes place during the Ukrainian war, during this conflict that we're seeing right now. But, a few months earlier, right? So I think you're going to like it. But I did record the first episode of an author reading books today, which is one of my new playlists on my YouTube channel. It is not live yet. Do not go look for it yet, unless you're watching this video on YouTube in about a week or later from June 17, 2022. If you go look about the 24th and beyond, you'll find it, because now all I have to do is edit it and then upload it. So the first episode of An Author Reading Books is on there, and I read the first chapter from my book Emergence, Gideon Wolf, Book 1. I'm also going to do The Courier next, and I do have permission from Luke Richardson to do one of his books. So I'm going to read a chapter from one of his books, a chapter 1 from one of his. I've got permission from Terry Schott. At least I assume I do, Terry, because you're the one that told me to do this. So I'm going to do The Game is Life. And I'm going to do, what else? Whoever sends me, so if people want me to read their book, a chapter from their book, I'll read a chapter from your book. You just got to give me permission, because I'm not going to do any of that copyright infringement stuff, okay? I know you could maybe claim fair use under parody or review or whatever, but I'm reading a whole chapter from your book. So, I want to make sure that you're cool with it. So, sending me a note saying it's okay, an email, and I'm not an attorney. It's probably okay and going to hold up in court, I guess. So, but I also, that's what I wanted to do. It's just me reading a book. It takes about 25 minutes. Reading a chapter, I make witty comments that you may or may not think are funny. Maybe they're distracting and it drives you crazy. But it's that's all it is me reading a chapter. And I'm starting with my own books because I have permission from myself to do that. But I don't want to focus on my books. I actually want to do this for other authors and sort of shed a little light on them, right? So, put a link in the description for their books. I'll always have a link for my books down there too. My catalog link will always be there. But I'd like to highlight other people's books. So like Sam Nosh, if you want me to do one of your books, just tell me which book you want me to do, and give me the permission, and I'll do it. So that's how same with you, Gumry Kimber. And I see Gumry right there. There you go. There's Gumry. And then who else is in here? Jason Queen's in here. He's a writer. So if you guys want me to do one of your books, you just got to tell me which one, and I'll read chapter 1. Make sure you just say, I give you my permission or whatever. I don't know if you're supposed to sign something. Probably the safe thing to do. But if I can throw an email, that'll be fine. Makes sense? Good. So that first episode's done. My plan is right now to do 3 a week. So 25 minutes. Doesn't take too long to do that. Just me cutting up, reading a book, and then post it on YouTube. I'm also I've set up the playlist, the new playlist, Myths and Mysteries. Those are going to take a little longer. The videos themselves are going to be shorter. They're about 15 minutes, maybe 12 minutes. Highlighting interesting myths and mysteries from history, right? So I'm really excited about doing this, but those require a lot of research. So I'm going to be doing some reading in the evenings, stuff like that, to do those. The other one that I have not launched, I've set it up, but I haven't really gotten a good feel for how it's going to look yet, is Ernest Dempsey Story Club, where I talk about television shows, movies, books, video games, and what makes the stories in those things great. And I spoke with my good friend Mike Herman earlier today, who runs a collection of collectible toy stores up in Knoxville, Tennessee. And he just called me out of the blue today, and we started talking. Mike's been so great. He's handing out my postcards up there for Emergence and for the Courier, and really doing a lot to help me out. But and just such a wonderful guy. But he's got such an interesting perspective on stories and movies and shows. Come to find out, he's doing a podcast similar to that, which smacks a lot like Kevin Smith's podcast. And that I was like, that is so funny. That's how I was describing this exact same thing, the Story Club, to some other people, is like a little bit like Kevin Smith's podcast. And apparently a lot of people have been begging him to do that. So I think he's doing a podcast, but I'm doing more of like a YouTube playlist, right? So not really a podcast. You could listen to it, while you're driving, or you could, sit down, crack open a fresh one, and, just listen to us gabbing about stories. But it's something that I'd like to do. I'm probably always going to have a guest. So it's not just going to be like this show. This show is this show, right? It's me talking about random things. But that one's got a purpose, and it's always better when there are two opinions, right? So I think that, and it's fun. It's fun to do the discussions. I said, I'm willing to let those go as long as they need. So, if those need to be like an hour-long episode, I don't want to go Rogan on it and do like 3 hours, right? But, the story's as long as the story needs to be. So we'll see. We'll see how it comes together. But as of right now, I'm focused on the other two first, as well as writing stories and putting a store together. I suck at juggling, so imagine what this looks like in my brain with all these things. Cool, yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, so Australia, I'm gonna put on I'm not gonna say never, but the temperature extremes that you guys have there are insane. My editor Anne lives down there, and I mean, look, the heat index today was 106 at one point, right? Here in Tennessee. And you can be like, 87 tomorrow. But yeah, what you guys deal with down there is the next level. It's like it's 3 feet of snow and then 110 degrees, right? Like the extreme swings. I couldn't deal with it. I could deal with New Zealand's climate because it's like perpetual fall. But I don't know. Yeah, they're not letting anybody in down there. They're tired of Americans moving in there, I think. Not sure. I don't know any. I only know one Kiwi personally. So it is a party. That's right, Irvin. It is a party. And this is a party with 16,000 of your closest friends. No. This is the camo app. I removed the watermark. Bam! Figured out how to do that in the settings all by myself. Yes, I did. I didn't even need you to tell me how to do it, James. I went in there and I was like, I'm getting rid of this dumb thing. Why is this here? I don't need that branding. I want my own watermark. Notice I don't have my own watermark yet. I mean, I know how to make them and put them in there. Oh, July 11th is your birthday. Well, a happy birthday if I forget, because I tend to do that if I don't program it into my phone. And my phone's being used as a camera right now, which is weird. This quality looks amazing compared to my nice Panasonic camera. I don't understand. Maybe I need to run that through the Camo app. But then yeah, that would work. What am I doing? Oh yeah, but I like the angle here. I can't get that tripod here. And if I try to use this, it would be real flimsy because that's a heavy camera. The random things he talks about drive me crazy. Yeah. Right. No, I know this week. So this week I didn't get as much work done as I wanted to, but I met with an old friend who was a retired professor from my university here at Southern, and took him out to lunch yesterday, and we discussed plans for what he wants to do next, because the world is his oyster, and the plans that he had for retirement changed. And so I'm not going to get into that because it's personal, but he loves to travel, but he loves to be around younger people my age and younger, right? And show them things. And he was talking about, traveling and being around. I was like, just start a travel company like that where you set up these experiences. He goes, well, I don't care about making money from it. I said, you don't have to. Just be transparent and say, look, here's all the costs that you'll for the flight, for these accommodations, and I don't take anything, right? I just want to take you on an adventure into nature, right? He loves being in nature and hiking and stuff like that. And I hope he does it, and he thanked me. He sent me a text message a little while later, and he really appreciated I don't give advice, but the guidance, right? And I met with another another author that is going to be releasing a kid's book soon. And I met with him on Wednesday, and I had another meeting on Tuesday and another meeting on Monday. So it's been a week of meetings for somebody who only works by themselves. It's been a lot of meetings this week. So next week, my schedule is clear. I'm not taking anybody out to lunch. I'm not meeting anybody. I'm just writing and recording videos. That's it. Well, and working on the store. But I may have the store set up by Sunday night. We'll just see how that goes. The reason I'm not opening it till July 11, even if it's set up next week, is because I won't be able to ship anything. So I don't want to do that. Like, hey guys, get your orders in. And then like, ew, sorry, it's taken 3 weeks for your book to get here. Some of you already know that I've done that before. All right. Oh, the keychains. Yeah, well, fortunately, I ordered small quantities of those. So the misspelling of Guardians that some of you were so kind to point out on the posts because it's spelled Goridans, Guaridans or something like that. Fortunately, I ordered small batches of those, as small as I could, just to test the quality and everything. So unfortunately, that is money that I literally threw into the trash. But that's why you order a small sample first, right? Like the minimum quantity. It's also why you pay closer attention to your proofs, which I did, but your brain is like, it makes the letters look right in those words. So whatever. What's up? What's up, Jay? St. Pete, Champa Bay. Oh, cousin Jay's a Lightning fan and probably a Bucks fan. The only team in the South, the NFL South, that I don't hate. Hate's a strong word to use for Carolina and New Orleans. It's the right word, but it is a strong word. But yeah, Champa Bay, you guys got your hands full though with the Colorado Avalanche. Nick Thacker's Avs are looking ridiculous. We got knocked out. The Preds got knocked out of the playoffs in 4 straight. Like they just came in and smoked us bad. I mean, it was pretty ugly. I mean, the Preds were a streaky team all year, and they caught the wrong streak when they caught up with Colorado in round 1. No bueno. So you're down there in Champa Bay, St. Pete Beach, yeah, or St. Pete? I'll be down there in St. Pete Beach in September. I'm gonna have to start looking at flights from Athens for that thing. Woo! And then doing the Vegas tour after that. My goodness, that's gonna be. Maybe I'll hang out here for like a couple of months. That seems like it is around the holidays. With that golden visa, you just come back. You can come back for 4 or 6 months, something like that, and you'll be fine. So maybe I'll see you down there at St. Pete Beach, Jay, cousin Jay. I love the fact that you can swim in the ocean all year round. Oh yeah. Yeah. Ooh, okay. Ooh, I like this. Look at the profile. Welcome to Kimberland. I love it. So there's another author that his last name is Fight. Wonderful guy. And it's Fite. And I'm like, if you don't name your newsletter the Fight Club, I'm not going to talk to you again. I said, you need to go back to your hotel room right now and call it the Fight Club. And he's like, I never thought of that. And I'm like, probably too obvious or contrived, right? Like maybe it's a little too heavy-handed. And I said that to him. I said, that might be a little heavy-handed, but dude, I just feel like this is you've been given this one. Like this is a soft toss. Are you going to hit it 500 feet or are you going to bunt? Right? You're going to swing for that fence. This is an easy one. But I like Kimberland. That's cool. Oh, Cyprus. Yeah, Cyprus looks really cool too. I'm not going to move there, but it looks really cool. What was random question from Allison? Excellent. I have got to go in 20 minutes. I've been rambling already for 35. Random question. Feel free to put more questions in the comments if you like. I always love questions because then it keeps me from just rambling too much. When was your earliest experience when you learned that language in books had power? Language. What do you mean by that? Language. I need clarification on that, Allison. I'll come back to that one. Oh, here we go. I'll steer clear of that. Okay. No, but I know what your books look like. I have some of them on my Kindle. Mm-hmm. True story. Oh, there was more messages and then it skips up. I don't know why it does that. Crazy this thing is. Oh yeah, no worries. Vampire of Munich. Ooh. You'll get your legal team to greenlight it. All right, all right. Yeah, send me a DM on that so I can send me a message to the fan page on Facebook, and I'll add it to my list. I got a whole notebook of I've got like a page in my notebook for where I'm putting in the ones I'm going to do. So after I do the Courier, I'm going to do Luke Richardson's book, and then I'll do you guys. Luke, by the way, I might have mentioned this before. I think I might have mentioned it last week. I don't know. Did I do a show last week? Honestly, I don't remember. Luke, he just sent me this yesterday. I was going to start it last night, and then started hanging out with my wife and kid, and I just never got. Before I knew it, it was 11:30, and I had to go to sleep. But Luke and I are. Luke's done the majority of the writing on this. It's his idea, but Luke and I are doing to release his new Eden Black character. He wrote a short story that features Eden Black and Adriana Villa. So my job is to go through on a second pass, which is what I'm going to start this weekend, and read through it. And anywhere where it needs to feel like Adriana, I'm going to do. It's really Luke's story. He did all the heavy lifting on this. All I'm doing is going over it and just to make sure that Adriana sounds like Adriana, right? But effectively, this is going to be the lead-in for his Eden Black series, and I'm really excited for him. I think that he's got a tremendous idea with this series. Luke's a terrific guy and a very talented writer, and he's only getting better with every book that he writes. And so, and I know he does a lot of research, and he goes beyond the kind of research I do and most of us do, in that he will go and live in the place where he's writing where the story takes place. And he wrote, in Riga. He goes and lives in Riga for 6 weeks or something. And it's amazing, right? And try to do that when you have a 7-year-old, Luke. Okay, talk to me then, smart guy. But yeah, I'm excited about it, and I'm excited to actually read it and what he did. This also could be something where, and I've thought about this, and I got to figure out how it all works as far as royalties are concerned and those sorts of things. But I'm also considered allowing people to write in my universe. Now, they won't write Sean Wyatt, they won't write Dak Harper and those. But look, the IAA has other agents, okay, that you've never met. And Shadow Cell is still there. Okay, like it looks like that Shadow Cell went away and it hasn't done anything for a while, but it's still there. And there's a new agent that you're going to meet in Relic Runner 5, Liz Morrow. So no relation to Jack Morrow from Gideon Wolf. I just like the last name Morrow. But yeah, so there are other agents to Shadow Cell. So if you write, espionage thrillers, things of that nature, I'm very interested in working with other writers and letting them write in that universe. And I'm very interested in, because I own that property, that universe property, that IP. I want to make sure that it's, on par with the quality that everybody expects. But I know that some of you guys, even that are watching this, are more than capable of doing that kind of thing. So I would want to set it up. You're doing most of the work. All I'm doing is looking through the outline that you submit and saying yes or no, or maybe tweak this, and then doing a pass through on the back end. But I would want the royalty split to be more in favor of the person who does most of the work. That just makes sense. So if that sounds interesting to you, and you're watching this and you're a writer and you'd love to write in one of the universes, this is something I'm thinking about, because it's so deep. I will never, I'm probably going to live at least 200 years, just based on modern medicine and my nutrition and my exercise and all the body hacking that I do, I'll at least live 200 years. But even that is not enough time to roll out all of the stories that I have in my head, or all of the characters, or all that stuff. So I am, if you've got something that you're like, hey, I've got an idea for an IAA agent, right? And I've got a list of some of those other agents that don't exist yet, right? That have not been, they exist, but not in book form yet. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, let me know. Send me a message, and I'm not going to take any action on it right now. I'm just interested in talking about it, having a conversation with some other writers that maybe want to do that. And maybe writing in my universe might help you, with whatever your own stuff that you're doing. And so just thoughts, this is Drinks with Dempsey spitballing, just saying things out loud that come to my brain. You know what? I am just going to block you. Smart. He's such a smart. See how I censored myself? Wish I'd done that in Vegas, but I was going on like 4 hours of sleep in Vegas when I did that show with Nick Thacker. I was so loopy. I was not inebriated in any way except on fatigue. Yeah, well, you know what? Keep yapping over there, Slater. Keep yapping, and it'll be 12 months next time. Huh? You want to go for 12? Want to keep yapping? Go for 18? Yeah, Jay, I see your go Bolts. Yeah, one of my best friends, two good friends are Tampa fans. A guy I used to play hockey with up here in Chattanooga, roller hockey league, and then one of my best friends from high school is a big Ning fan. So, hello, Shelly. Graphic designer. Ooh. I would have let it ride at that point. If I was the president, I would have been like, hello. If your name's like Wilson and it was spelled like Waleson, I would have gotten up there and been like, hello, everybody. I am Dr. Waleson today. No, I used to be Wilson, but today I'm Waleson. It's not every day that you can get a fresh start, but thanks to that typo in the programming, I'm a whole new man. I don't know if that was funny or not. Was it kind of funny? The written word. Okay, so I gotta scroll back at random. When was the earliest experience when you learned that the written word in books had power? Oh, yeah. Well, I would say, well, I think that this is a little grim, but I think that I realized it had power when, the first instance, you won't, applaud, but, 1774, September 5, I think it was September 5, 1774, when they, started or wrote the Declaration of Independence. Was that the Constitutional Convention or whatever, or the big convention, right, between the founding fathers. There's so many dates out there, it's hard to remember them all, but that September 5, 1774 was an extremely important date for American history and the Revolutionary War. But studying those articles, studying those documents really showed me, hey, baby, this cat's been like sleeping down there at my feet. Now she's up rubbing me. I wonder if she wants to get out of the room if the door is closed. I'll open the door for you in a minute. It's okay. You're going to be all right for 10 more minutes. It's just 10 more minutes. All right. Yeah, sweet baby. All right. But yeah, don't waste your money on my stuff. You're talking about your Kindle books. Oh wait, I got to finish Allison's question. So yeah, I think that was first when I started studying history, and I was like, these words on vellum basically were, or parchment, were no vellum. I get it confused, the eras when one was used and then the other one was used. Parchment is probably right. The studying that was the first time I realized that words have power and they tie to very real consequences. I mean, the founding fathers of the United States they took huge risks and they had the most to lose, right? Because they were the figureheads, they were the financiers of the war. And, does the farmer, with a family at home risk any less? No, they both risked their lives. It was just the magnitude of the risk that those guys took. And they were philosophers. They were businessmen, but they were philosophers. And they were, Samuel Adams is a really interesting study. And I'm honestly just deep diving into him because I was a big fan of his. I love the Revolutionary War history. And I actually, first time I went to Boston, I made a point of going to his grave and taking a picture of it with me there. And I love that stuff. The second time that it really came through to me that words have power was when I learned about the book that Hitler wrote, Mein Kampf, and how, okay, baby, I'll let you out. 1 sec. You got to let the cat out. It's okay. Do you want out? Or are you just looking through the window? Looking? Go? No? All right. You need to make a decision here. You going out? Okay. You could move slower. There you go. Yeah, you know how they say don't let it hit you in the tail on the way out? Oh, that just happened. Cat can't make up its mind. It goes to the door, clearly wants to go out. And then it dallies around, walks around in a circle like it's going to take the long way through the door that's open right in front of its face. And now it's outside the door and sitting outside the door. It's probably going to start meowing soon, which makes so much sense. The second time that I realized the written word had so much power was when I read about Hitler writing Mein Kampf and what that whole really manifesto did to the entire world, right? His speeches were written word, right? And he was a great orator, and he convinced enough people to follow him that the people who refused were taken out, right? And that's a dangerous lesson. It can happen anywhere. I've been to Germany. I love the German people. They're amazing. They are so great. Some people think that Germans are tough and insensitive. And I'm like, no, they're just precise. They're really precise. That's why they have so many good engineers, right? That's why they, things run on time there, right? I experienced this. They're great planners and they don't dally around very often. They know they dally when it's time to dally. That's why they have great festivals in every village around the country. And at any given time, if you just keep driving, you will find a town in Germany that's having a festival at that time. And I love that. It's so cool. And there are really cool people. And enough of them were betrayed by this guy, right? And led to believe a lie that they turned on their own countrymen first, right? And then they turned on the Jewish people of that country, also their countrymen. And then the rest is history. And it all came from the written word, right? So we must be careful as authors, right? What we put into our books. And while there are often hidden messages in my stories, philosophical things that are very subtle usually, I'm very careful what I put in there because I don't want to ever try to sway somebody one way or the other. I just want people to think about things, right? I never tell people what to think. Back to your nitwit comment, Sam. Buying your books is not a waste of money. You have good stories. So, I know that you're a good writer because you have imposter syndrome, clearly from this. And imposters don't get imposter syndrome. I read that recently from another author. I got 4 minutes, guys, and then I got to go. Yeah. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. Ooh, I like that. And I was just talk about the universe. Like, it's like we're zooming in because I was just talking about that. Didn't even see it yet. Yeah, I know you do, lady. You think I wasn't talking to you? I said the author's watching this show. Like 4 of you in this group right now, maybe 5. Yeah, there's Gumry's link. There you go. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to give you the spoiler. And Luke, I don't want to ruin that story for you. But Adriana is in the story. I'm not going to tell you what capacity, and I'm not going to tell you what happens at the end. But I love this concept. I'm really excited that Luke is really taking this to a new level. And I'm excited that we got to do something together because I've never done anything with another author like this or anything with a book. And, Kevin Tomlinson's first in line, then Nick Thacker, then Steve Moore, and Luke like line jumped everybody for this little short story. So, but it's his story. He did all of the work. I'm just sprinkling pixie dust on it at the end. So I'm excited to actually read it starting this weekend. What's up, Paige? I like that profile picture. I do have a friend we call Trainwreck. He lives in Miami. What's up, Kowalski? How you doing, my friend? It's good to see you. Oh yeah. Oh, you lived there for 15 years? That's awesome. I'm so jealous. I could do it. Like the only thing that got me, I was there for 3 weeks in this one village, about 17 days, not a full 3 weeks. But I stayed in this one village for 2.5 weeks, and that felt like living there. The only thing that really like wore on my brain, and I was 27 at the time. This was 2004. The one thing that really gnawed at my brain was the language on signs, not hearing it, but like seeing it on signs and not seeing signs in English, like exit. What does that mean? Oh, you get off here. This is the exit. Oh, I can't read that. I took Spanish in high school and 1 semester of German in college that I clearly did not absorb. Need Rosetta Stone. Wait, I already have it. She drinks. So Adriana, yes, she drinks tea correctly. Half sweet, half unsweet on ice. That's exactly how she drinks it. Just like a proper Southern gal from Madrid. Because she may be from Madrid, but she lives in the ATL now. She lives in Atlanta with a second home in Chattanooga and that place out in Vegas that probably just is abandoned or sold to a billionaire because they already got that Coronado thing. So she doesn't really need it anymore. Together, we will rule Amazon as father and son. Exactly. Except I would say Luke. Luke, I am your daddy. For real this time. That's what I would say. Hey, is Denise, where's Kathy Veglio and Kat and Denise today? And I mean, I know Marva's sometimes working. Kathy sometimes, Kathy Hamilton can't sometimes make it. But I haven't seen Denise and KV in a couple weeks. Kat was here the other day. So I'm not, but those two, I wonder what they're doing right now. Anyway, listen, guys, that's it. It's 6:26. I got to go make ice cream. That's right. I know how to make ice cream. A useful skill. It's a useful skill to have. I'll start a new YouTube channel, post-apocalyptic ice cream show. That's one genre I haven't dipped into yet. Just kidding. I'm not going into that one. But Richard Hale's doing well in it. So anyway, yeah, if you're interested, guys, watching Tumlinson, that's funny. Nice, James. Yeah, cheers, everybody. Y'all have a great weekend. Sam, Gumry, Luke, eventually when you watch this. Well, no, Luke already told me. But anybody else who watches this, Jason Queen, if you've got something you want me to read on an author reading books, I will be happy to do that. I just need permission from you to do that. So I will see you guys on Sunday morning at 9 Eastern, probably on the back porch for Coffee Nation, brought to you by, what do I have downstairs right now? Probably Mean Mug Coffee Roastery, because I think I drank all of my Perk coffee already, and it's time to order some prehistoric Perk. So I will see you guys. Hi, Terry. Have a great weekend. I think I might have missed you before on there. Y'all have a great weekend. My cat is now not scratching at the door, so that's my cue. All right, I'm coming. Relax. You're going to be okay. All right, love you guys. See y'all Sunday morning. And you authors, message me. Message me ideas. If you want to write in my universe, we'll figure that out. And about me reading your books on my YouTube channel. Y'all take it easy.